Okay, so today we are multiplying binomials, and we are using the FOIL method to do that. Now that might sound pretty confusing at first, but hopefully by the end of this lesson you'll understand what this means. So first of all, whether you believe it or not, we have been working with binomials, okay? Binomials are one of those fraction parts. So if you remember when we were doing factoring form, we had parentheses and we had x minus our r1, and then we had x minus our r2. These are binomials right here because they have two parts. Bi means two. So there are two parts right here. So a binomial is a polynomial with two parts. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to find the product. Now when you think about product, remember we are multiplying. Okay? So we're multiplying two of these binomials and we're using the FOIL method to do it. The FOIL method is just hopefully a way for you to remember what the steps are to get it right each time. So first, FOIL. It stands for something. F stands for something, O, I, and L. F stands for first. Okay. O, it stands for outer. I stands for inner. And L stands for last. Again, still probably seems super weird, but once we see a problem, you'll kind of understand. So remember, this is just the part to help you remember how to do it. What you need to look for when you have this is when you have two binomials being multiplied. So these are two binomials right here being multiplied. X plus 5 times x plus 6. Now if you think back to our warm-up, remember what x times an x is. It's an x squared, and x times a number is just that number times x. And a number times a number is just another number. So first, we need to start with FOIL, and it starts with the first. That means we're multiplying the first two terms together. X times x. It's called the first because they're both in the first position. So x times x is x squared. And that's what I write in that first box there. Now I'm going to do the outer. It's called outer because it's going to be the last ones. So x times, where am I? X times 6. X times 6 is 6x. Now, inner. Inner are those two numbers kind of in the middle here. We have 5 times x, which is 5x. And now we have our last. Our last are our last two numbers. 5 times 6. 5 times 6 is 30. Now, you have also done this part before. We need to combine like terms. Okay. The only terms that are going to be similar are the ones that look alike. X squared. There are no other x squared, so I'm just going to write x squared as one of my final answers, final parts. Now I have 6x plus 5x. I can combine those. And when you combine them, you just add them. 6 plus 5 gives me 11x. And then are there other just regular numbers with no variables attached? No. So it's plus 30. So there's my answer. X squared plus 11x plus 30. Notice how it looks different. This is my factored form, and I'll write this above it. Factored form. And this is what we're going to call standard form. All we're doing is we're changing what it looks like. We're not solving a problem. Again, we're just simplifying, just changing what it looks like. So let me go through another example with you. So here's example 2. Remember FOIL. I spelled that wrong, didn't I? I did. We have O and then I. Okay, so FOIL. So first, we multiply our first two terms. X times x, which is x squared. Now I have our outer. X times 7. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. X times a negative 7 gives me a negative 7x. You need the negative sign there. It makes a difference. Next one, our inner. 3 times x. 3 has a plus sign in it. X doesn't have a symbol, so we can assume it's a positive. 3 times x is 3x. And now my last 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Combine like terms. You'll notice, again, the middle two terms are always the ones that you can combine. So I have x squared still hanging out. Negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4x. Then I still have that plus 21. Just to write it a little more cleanly, we're just going to put minus 21. And there you go. Factored form, standard form. Okay, here's another example. First, we're going to do first for the f, x times x, x squared. Outer, x times negative 4. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. Don't put negative x4. It doesn't really make sense in the math world. We always put the number first and then the x. Next one, inner, negative 5 times x, negative 5x. And now our last, negative 5 times negative 4. A negative times a negative gives me a positive 20. Again, we can combine these two. So I still have my x squared. Negative 4 plus negative 5 gives me a negative 9x. Or you can say plus negative, but again, I just like to say minus 9. And then I still have that plus 20. And there you are. All right, let's try another one. All right, example 4. Same idea, but again, it looks a little different. I'm going to try and spell this right this time. Okay, I don't have the boxes anymore for you, just something to remember. You're going to have, again, 4 different parts, and then we're going to combine it into one answer. Okay, 7x times negative 3x. That one's a little harder. What I always do, multiply the numbers first. 7 times negative 3, excuse me, is negative 21. And then I have my x times x, so it's x squared. So negative 21 x squared. 7x times 2. Well, 7 times 2 is 14, and then I still have that x hanging out. So plus 14x. Next one, 4 times negative 3x, negative 12x. Last, 4 times 2 is 8. Combine like terms. Again, usually they are in the middle if you do it right. So I still have my x squared. Nothing can combine with my x squared, so negative 21x squared. I have 14x minus 12x. Plus 14 minus 12 is a plus 2x. And then plus 8. All right, I'm going to do one more with you, then you're going to be on your own. Following FOIL first. Negative 2x times 3x is negative 6x squared. Negative 2 times negative 4, or negative 2x times negative 4. Negative 2 times negative 4 gives me a positive 8. And then I still, again, have that x hanging out. Inner, 3 times 3x is 9x. And last, 3 times negative 4. 3 times negative 4 is a negative 12. Whoops. Combine the middle parts, because they're both x's, they're like terms. So I have negative 6x, an 8x plus a 9x gives me a 17x, and then minus 12. And there's your final answers. Notice what we're doing with FOIL. We're taking this first term and we're multiplying it by both of these. We're taking this term and we're multiplying it by both of these over here, both terms over there. Again, it's everything being multiplied together. Everything from to the left parentheses being multiplied to the right, and vice versa. Okay, so here's what you got. You got a couple more examples on this worksheet, and then you need to have me or Mr. Cheeseman check it, and we'll check it, and then we'll give you the next one to practice. And if you don't finish the second one, then you have homework to do. All right, good luck.